I think we're good. Props to the... So I didn't film much today because we were roofing. I was roofing with two other guys, but I got a pretty good offer at the job that I'm working right now. I asked for a bit of a raise from what I was getting last year. So I'm getting 26 an hour now, especially with long days. If we get a full schedule with like 10, 12-hour days, you know, you think 25 an hour for 12 hours a day, that's $300 a day. And I'm getting 26 an hour. So as long as I'm working that job, it's going to be pretty decent money. I'm hoping it's not going to be for a long time. Speaking of new things, I actually just booked a meeting with, it's a very large manufacturer of snowmobile parts. Sorry, actually service. It's kind of like a dealership that's very popular. I think they have something like 50,000 followers on Instagram. So it's a pretty big, well-known company. And I'm pretty sure it's the marketing guy that runs their social media, which is pretty neat because he can spend their marketing dollars. You know, I don't have to get to the owner or whatever to get in touch with somebody that can spend money. So I booked a meeting with him about the app. It's been pretty good so far, pretty good conversation. And we're booked for Thursday, so I'm going to try and get a day off for that. So everything from this point forward is going to be on my free time, at least, is going to be preparing for that meeting. So defining a bit of a structure, figuring out what I'm going to do for the app, what the mock-ups are going to be a part of the design process. I'm going to talk about like what I'm going to provide, the time it's going to take, how much I'm going to charge them, how I'm going to charge them, if it's going to be subscription or not, if I'm going to have different packages. I'm going to figure all that stuff out because I really haven't made any ground on what I want to do for an app in that sense. And I think, to be totally honest, once I get that figured out and I get like pretty much 100% prepared for the meeting, I'm going to keep sending DMs. Because the thing is, I can't really cold call when I'm at work, or during the day, I should say. Most businesses, so whether it's a dealership or like a gym, are only open during work hours, right? So like 9 to 5, whatever. Maybe some gyms are a little bit later, but the owner is probably not going to be around. Nobody wants to talk at like 8 o'clock at night. So I think Instagram DMs is going to be the best outreach strategy, period. And honestly, I've only contacted about 60 or 70 companies already, and I've gotten pretty close to 10 responses. Some haven't worked out, like the conversation went nowhere, and they either left me on red or didn't want help. And the rest, like I'm currently conversing with in a conversation, in other words. But I think I'm going to keep reaching out, sending kind of the same opener message. I decided not to go with the video one. I don't know if I mentioned this, but it just wasn't, like the overall feel of the video, I wasn't super satisfied with. Plus, what I'm doing here is already working, and I'm just overthinking everything. Like, I don't need to be thinking as much about refining things as I have been, because it's biting me in the ass. One, because I'm spending way too much time, and two, because I'm throwing perfectly good ideas out the window. So like these messages, the one that I booked the meeting, I just said, hey, have you ever thought of creating an app? So instead of pushing a sale or something, I'm sparking a conversation about, have they ever thought about this? And then subtly listed the benefits in another question within the same message. And essentially just narrow that conversation down to, I have some ideas. Do you have some time for a Zoom meeting sometime this week? That's pretty much all there is to it, right? Because essentially you're just sharing some ideas, and then if they like the ideas, they're going to pay for the ideas. I'm so dirty from today. Like, I don't know if you can see that dirt line. My hands are clean because I just washed my hands, but you get absolutely filthy working with shingles and dirt all day. So But I think that's definitely a really good outreach strategy to keep doing, is just sending messages, sending to as many as possible. I guess right now I'm kind of focusing on just online businesses in general, because they are like a dealership. They also sell products online. So I don't think I really need to get super narrow on what I want to do, like gym and personal trainers, and like narrow it down a lot, because that's going to cut down on my options. Plus, it's just a one-time thing. Like, I'm not going to be doing apps like this forever. I just need a few good paychecks to get stage 2 going. Even one, like $4,000 is all I need. So really, to start testing and stuff, you shouldn't be spending more than $4,000 to test a store until it's profitable. $2,000 is more than enough. So that's another $2,000 for my expenses. And from there, we're pretty much set, right? So like I said, I'm going to prepare. And then once I'm prepared, I'm going to keep sending messages. I'm currently through my entire following list. That's what I was doing initially, was going through followers or the people that I'm following to find companies to approach. So I'm going to be doing hashtags, but I'm not sure if I want to do like snowmobiling or gym, because ultimately they're both going to be different. They're both going to be kind of custom. I think, to be honest, and this is me kind of like developing or thinking about what I'm going to do here, going after snowmobile companies is still going to be the best bet, because I have a lot of experience and a lot of content. Like, my entire other Instagram profile is all snowmobiling. So if I go after snowmobiling companies, I can use that as leverage in pretty much every aspect of building an app for a snowmobile company, because I know the audience, I know the market, I am the market, I know everything about the industry, right? So, which gyms, I know a fair bit, but everybody knows a fair bit. Every single person on this earth really knows just about as much as me. I'm not super advanced into the like muscle groups or gym stuff, whatever. So I'm just as good as anyone else, but snowmobiling is where I really have an advantage. So that's the niche that I'm going to go after. If I really struggle to find, businesses or whatever within that niche, I might go into gyms, but that's it. There's no more thinking about approach. I'm just going to replicate what already worked for me. This, it's just a numbers game at this point. What I have is really good. Send the opener, follow up, have a casual conversation, narrowing down to the point of, I want to share some ideas. Let's set a video call so I can share what I've prepared for you. And boom, your meeting set. It's just a numbers game. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And just can't overthink things. Like, that kind of ties into indecision and being indecisive. That's what has killed my progress just about every time in the past, besides like money as a bottleneck for testing and stuff. But you really got to pick one idea and run with it. And that's literally all the thinking I'm going to be doing about outreach. Now it's really a matter of dialing in, like I said, the meeting, what I'm going to be doing for them, and everything I mentioned already. So, like I said, I'm not filming as much. I want to try and cut back on the content. This clip alone is already at 9 minutes. So I want to try and keep the entire video under 20 minutes if possible. So that's what we're going to do tonight. I might not even film anything else, but have a look at the notes, because everything from me preparing tonight is going to be in there. And use it in your own ventures. Use it however you want. And wish me luck for the meeting, I guess. But maybe we'll get another meeting or two booked for Thursday. We'll see. So It doesn't hurt to send more messages. Didn't have time to work out this morning. What else was I gonna do? Run, workout. I had to leave. It was like super early, so. But we're getting good, like 12, 14-hour days in, which is super important. Actually, it might not be if I get a really good check, but yeah. Oh, and I know I said I was kind of like breaking my cut because I have a bit of food here and I might as well take the opportunities that are presented to me for granted. But to be totally honest with you, I don't know. I just feel like I need a little bit more commitment to this challenge and to myself. So I'm going to be cutting it back anyways until I hit that goal. And then one thing I wanted to mention as well is I'm going to be paying rent. As soon as I get my check, I'm going to be paying rent. Plus I'm doing chores around here. So it's not like I'm living here for free or anything. Not that it really matters at all to the channel, or not that it should matter to me, but like I'm still paying rent, right? So I still have those expenses. And like I said, everything's expensive. Life is expensive. Food, gas, but you got to realize that there's the things in life that you can't control, you can't stress about. You just got to figure out what you can do to put yourself in the best position possible, right? If you can't change the rules of the game, you got to play the game better. So in that case, you got to make more money. And that's what this is about, right? So hope you enjoyed today's update. Got to work tomorrow, Tuesday. Got to work this entire week except for Thursday. And then probably the weekend too. So I will keep you updated. So it's 8:16 p.m. It's kind of a long day. Actually, it's a little bit of a shorter day. It's like 10 or 11 hours. But it's still a pretty long day for the average person, I guess. I don't know how many of you work long days of labor, but I decided that I was going to go for a run. I'm pretty sore, to be honest, but it's just, I had a bit of spare time and I'm like, I just got to do this. I got to go for a run, workout. And I think I'm going to be doing this every day now, even if I'm super sore, because it's more of a further building discipline and contribution to the challenge and to myself, to the commitment to my challenge, or my commitment to the challenge. So every day we're going to be working out, running, working, regardless of whether I'm tired or not, even though I could probably take it as a rest day at a bare minimum if I'm working. But, unless I absolutely have no time, because if sleep is more important than anything, because if I can't get up for my job or for a meeting and I'm tired during the day, then I'm not going to perform and things aren't going to work out. So sleep is more important. If I don't have time, then I can't do it. But if I manage my time properly and my schedule, I should be able to do it most days. I've also been super unsatisfied with the last few days. Actually, the majority of the challenge, to be honest, I feel like it's went downhill. The videos, the content, the effort I've been putting into videos. Oh, check this out, actually. Fuck, huge ass caterpillar. I don't know, I just saw them moving and it was kind of distracting me, so. like I've been super unsatisfied. Like I was talking about a cut and I started eating because there's really good food. Some of you probably think I'm crazy for eating straight oatmeal and working out every day and just doing the things that I'm doing. And even announcing this publicly, like, what if you don't make it? What if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? But like I said, you just gotta have so much confidence, like delusional confidence in your idea and in yourself, that, like, I know booking a meeting isn't everything, because obviously there's a very good chance that they're not gonna wanna buy or whatever. Actually, in this case, you know, the person I'm talking to has the ability to spend money, and booking a meeting, technically, in a sense, is them selling, like pre-selling themselves on your service. Because if they're interested, you know, it's just a matter of financial, like a monetary thing, right? If they like the idea and they're interested, you know, it's just a matter of spending money and how it's valued and how you justify it. So you got to be a little bit crazy if you want to be successful, or maybe a lot crazy. Like, I would almost argue that even content creators, you know, try, you know, especially if it's the first time, going in public, going down a street or in a store, which is even worse probably, or in a mall, and just recording a video of yourself talking is the most awkward thing ever. Some people are gonna look at you weird. Most people won't care, to be honest, but most people just look at you because it's not normal. Most people don't have the confidence or the drive to do something like that, or the passion if it's something you like to do. So it's a point of interest because it's like, hey, this guy's doing something that most people won't do or don't do. But you gotta be a little bit crazy. I only had 2 things of oatmeal today, which is probably not a lot to eat. I'm probably gonna have another one, but I'm honestly not that hungry. And I think maybe it's because I ate a lot in the last few days. Maybe it's because I had like 2 energy drinks today. But at the end of the day, if it's working, it's working. It's getting me closer to my goal. If I can stick with these habits, you know, this is just like, sticking to those habits is almost super, like, supercharge you in a sense. Like, I don't know, you just feel so good when you accomplish things like that every day. So that's why I think it's so important to build habits like going to the gym and reading and doing all that kind of stuff, because it's just important. It improves your life, like, point blank. So like I said, I've been super dissatisfied with pretty much the entire challenge, like not getting done. You know, I'm a philosopher at heart. I like talking about my ideas and stuff, and content creator, obviously, but I need to be taking more action than I need to be creating content. And that's sort of what I'm going to be doing. Obviously, you're going to get a few talking clips, which will make up the majority of the video, but we got to make this happen, and it's going to happen. So close. And you know, I saw something really important on social media today. It was it was somebody that was really successful or rich or whatever the deal was, but somebody asked him in an interview, what was the biggest lie you've been told? And he said, it's not that simple. And then she's like, well, what was the answer to that question or whatever? And he was like, it is that simple. The reality is that the majority of us overthink pretty much everything. You need to, what's the other saying that I had? Execution over perfection. Refine things to an extent, but you don't need to, like, my 15 days of thinking and philosophy, perfecting what I'm gonna do, was not necessary. I could have stuck with the one main idea I had in the start. And to be honest, if I wouldn't have neglected the response that I got from this one person, then I would have had this meeting 2 weeks ago. And it's really that simple. You need to pick something that's decent, like we're talking about in the product example, a decent product, and then master the marketing. But at the same time, it's a numbers game. If you have a decent outreach message, it's just a fucking numbers game. You don't need to. Some people are going to be dicks and not respond to you or leave you on red, or reply and not give you the time of day because they don't have the patience to listen to someone express a really good idea, or they're going to respond to you, one of the two. And you need to ignore the former and just listen to the people, or communicate with the people that are going to listen to you. So, numbers game. Like I said, if I would have used that specific outreach message in the beginning and just sent how many more? I only sent like 70 so far. I would have had probably 400 by now, and maybe 2, 3, 4 meetings. You just got to keep doing that. So we have a little bit of movement because I've finally come to my senses in terms of what I need to do and what I've been doing wrong. And that's a really important fact, is like, if you meditate on what you're doing wrong, you will figure it out. You know, I know, you probably don't want to face the truth, but if you sit there and say, hey, the fuck am I doing wrong? You're going to figure it out because you already know. And if you write that down or tell it to yourself and actually approach your problems and fix them, you know, it's easier to ignore your problems than fix them. But if you approach it and say, hey, I'm doing this wrong, I need to do it better, that's how you fix your problems, I guess. But I don't know, I think we're on the right track. I've kind of gotten, I think yesterday, I think it was day 15, pretty sure it was day 15. I would say, to be honest, was one of the lowest days of the challenge. Maybe a few days before was, in terms of progress and overall like ambition, but I think I'm right back on track. This is one of the better days, to be honest, because I know exactly what I'm doing. I landed a first meeting, and the meeting is, I would say, if you're a smart person, if you know what you're doing, if you have a proper plan and you are confident in what you're doing, so pretty much everything that I contain in regards to building an app for someone, you know, I have all my shit in order. Maybe I haven't done it before, maybe I'm not a professional at sales, but I have everything else pretty much, right? If you have that, the numbers game and the act of sending messages and doing outreach, I would say is 60 to 75% of actually closing a client. Because if they book the meeting with you, they already want it, right? It's just a matter of justification, the fine details, how long it's going to take, the price. Financial is the biggest thing. So it is simple. Anyone that tells you it's not simple is honestly trying to discourage you from taking the path that you're taking. If they say, oh, landing a client for $4,000 isn't simple. I've done it. I had a guy literally come to me from having this other store and saying, hey, I'm into drop shipping. He was fairly knowledgeable about business and stuff. I see you're successful. I don't know how to build it myself. I want you to build it. He ended up paying me $4,000 3 days later, $4,000 Canadian, for a store that took me 2 weeks to build. And that's like bare minimum, because $4,000, like we talked about the other day, is a comparable and actually less of a wage than average working hours for an average wage as an employee. So I hope you get the picture. We're on a bit of a roll. I know what I'm doing. You need to execute over perfect. Execution and action over perfection. You know? So, but at the same time, like I said, you still gotta put a little bit of thinking in it. You can't just keep sending the same message to everybody for 3 weeks straight, not getting a response and saying, okay, I'm just gonna keep doing it, because sometimes it doesn't work. So take everything with a grain of salt. Obviously I'm learning. I've changed up a lot in the past, and I try to teach things to you guys and to, like, in my videos, because teaching things is the best way to learn things yourselves. So if, you know, I talk about something that I'm doing. If I do succeed, it's a great way to learn. Probably gonna put everything together at the end and then summarize it. But it's also like, it's a great way for me to learn, and it's a great way for other people to learn. Just pick and choose what I talk about, because it can change pretty often. Take the successful parts and run with it. But I think that's all I need to say. I'm gonna finish my run, work out, do some chores, try and edit the video, otherwise I can do it tomorrow. I'm not gonna have time to plan for the meeting tonight because I gotta get some sleep. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow. I gotta make up for work in order to get Wednesday off. And repeat. My challenge for myself, and this is me saying it sort of just because I know I'm gonna do it, if I can make it out of bed and on a decent time, which I did this morning. Unfortunately, I had to leave a little bit earlier, but I'm gonna try and run in the morning. It's gonna be dark, whatever, use a light or whatever, but that's just one of those things. Oh, you're crazy, you're running in the dark. No, it's just a form of discipline and showing myself that I'm committed to my word and to making things happen. So if I don't make that happen, I'm gonna be super pissed tomorrow, but wish me luck on waking up and not sleeping in. So that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of my thoughts, and a time lapse of me. Actually, no, I'm not gonna do a time lapse. I'm just gonna work out. I gotta get that shit done quick and then get some sleep. So starting to think I probably should have recorded this series first and not uploaded it to YouTube. Probably would have been the smartest thing in case like shit happened and I didn't make it, but this is my reputation on the line, you know? So crazy. At least we have a bit of movement now, so this is the first hint of success. And one thing nice about being on a cut is that you have unlimited energy. I don't know if you've ever went on like a fast before, but I honestly believe that your body consumes more energy digesting what you eat than it does on the average day spending your energy like exerting yourself physically. Because like maybe that's part of the reason I was able to get out of bed just about every day when I was living in Whitecourt, because I wasn't eating very much, and what I was eating was very healthy and easy to digest. So just try it. Like fasting has helped so many people. People fast for like 36 hours. I don't even know. You don't need much food. Most of that food is coming out of you. We're going to fat or muscle, but I feel great. I feel better than I have since I left Whitecourt. So it's a lot of temptation, and I was so tempted. I was probably like arguing with myself in my head for 20 minutes because my mom bought a rotisserie chicken. I was about to eat that, but I'm like, fuck that. I just gotta stick to this shit until I like do something substantial. I don't know, I'm probably gonna eat before the end of the 100 days. I just want to hit my goal, to be honest. So I want to get like the full shoulder striations coming in a little bit. Like I just want to be like totally defined. You feel me? I think I got enough muscle on, or a fair amount anyways. I don't want to be super bulky, but enough wasting time. I gotta finish fucking working out. It's already 9:30. I still have chores to do, so it's a process. A lot of fucking work. I don't know if you guys could tell, but I know I said not impressed with my previous performance, not satisfied with the challenge, but to be honest, I don't think I've been on social media maybe a combined hour and a half in the last week, which is pretty good compared to the average person. And honestly, you got to consume some social media, because older people are a good example of why you need external influence through social media, because without knowing what's going on in the world, like my parents have no idea how successful influencers are and YouTubers are, and like they don't even know who Grant Cardone is, or like Ty Lopez. So it's really tough without that exposure, right? Like they're not on social media, they don't have the exposure to what's going on in the world besides the news and word of mouth. So you gotta have a little bit of social media exposure. Bit of brake clean and a torch. I lied. This is like non-chlorinated stuff, so it doesn't burn, I don't think. I guess this stuff doesn't burn, so just gotta be patient and get it going a bit. Plastic likes to burn, so it should be fairly easy, to be honest. Welcome back, bitches. So, just had the meeting with I guess I can't say the name, but went pretty good, to be honest. Like, I had a bit of a structure laid out. I'll put it in the notes. I was rushing to get it done, so I wish I would have put more, but at the same time, the meeting went well overall. Like, the result was good, but it went kind of shitty because I suck at meetings. I was like so nervous. Got on the Zoom call. It started out pretty good, and then I'm telling him like facts, and I could tell he was losing interest because I was just saying statistics and shit. Even reading the stuff that I wrote out. And I guess my fallback, and this is kind of like a good fallback for anybody that's in a shitty situation on call, is just be honest and be human to human. Just be like, you know, he's human, you're human. You just got to be like, hey, this is a little bit tough for me, as you can tell, because I have the skills to get this done. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm trying to turn this from a hobby into work. And I'm still trying to work on the presentation and communication side of things. So bear with me. And then people are, unless they're like a dickhead, they're usually pretty understanding. They're gonna be like, yeah, okay, I totally get that. And sometimes they'll even like acknowledge it, be like, thanks for being honest with me. I appreciate the effort and whatever. So usually that's a really good thing to fall back on if your meeting structure is kind of getting derailed in a sense. But it turns out he is the head of a marketing company for many like companies in the power sports niche. He even mentioned Polaris and Skidoo, so I don't know if he has any affiliation with them, but he really likes the app idea. He knows how well they convert. He said he's on the app train. He's just got to figure out logistics and budget for what the company wants to spend on an app, this specific company. Plus, he said he might have some more B2B jobs for me. So like if some other client wants an app, he has a few clients asking about that kind of stuff that we might set up a call later about, and like just networking. Ultimately, like that's the really important thing about building a personal connection with someone, is it can go a lot further than just the sale. It's not just about getting that sale and getting the money. Now I have a really powerful connection that can also make me money in other realms. So it's neat to just meet people like that. And even if it's not going the way you wanted, that's, like I said, a great way to recover it is just to mention the obvious and ask for a bit of patience, maybe. I don't know. So, end of the day, he's going to check the budget, get back to me in a few days, and then I'm also working on another project for him that he might pay me for. It's like a SaaS application to measure statistics about like social media performance or social media marketing performance. So ultimately he can go to bigger companies, get them to use this tool. It'll be like a monthly or yearly subscription as a SaaS service, and they'll connect all their social media accounts like Facebook, Instagram, and it'll measure the performance. See, I'm all fucking jittery from the meeting. I don't know, man. I gotta get better at this shit, but like I said, everything is experience, everything takes time. Measures the performance of their social media and compares it. It's like basically a reporting tool. So it'll take their CPMs, their cost per click, all that kind of stuff, and factor it into an easy to read score for business owners, so they can get like kind of like a credit check, I guess you could think of, to measure the performance of in-house marketing teams. So Polaris can use it, for example, and let's say they get like 3.5 out of 10 on one certain aspect of this tool or of marketing, and and then it shows how well things are performing in relation to what they could be or previous performance. But hopefully in the next few days, like I said, it went pretty well. Hopefully I'll get a little bit of business out of it, and yeah. So I'm gonna get to work. I'm gonna develop a little bit of a mock-up of this other tool for this guy that I just talked to, for sort of like a reporting dashboard, since that's a really good way to show that I'm dedicated and I have the skills to perform on all levels. So I'm kind of lost a little bit right now in the fog, but yeah, hopefully it goes well. So I just got another job offer at $26 an hour because I'm a G, but I don't think I'm gonna quit roofing really soon, because I've only worked for him for like 2 days. I feel like that would be a kind of a dick mood, so dick mood. Just secured another job offer. Just secured another job offer at $26 an hour as an electrician. I would like to take it, but I think it'd be kind of a dick move because I've only worked for Brandt for a couple days now. And I think it'd be kind of a dick move to quit this early, so probably gonna root for a bit more and then maybe switch. Probably not though, because this is more of a short-term thing and I'm just trying to get as many hours as possible, so that's the plan. Also, rest in peace to my AirPods. I put them through the wash, so I think they work. I heard them making some noises, but I want to dry them out just in case. Because I can't live without them. So, hopefully they survive. Fingers crossed. I think they work, but. So I haven't been filming a lot because we've been so busy, but we're still progressing. We've got a really big client on the line, not just like a client for money, but a client that has a lot of connections and can get me other clients potentially. So I'm doing a little bit of B2B work for him. Don't really have much to say right now, but it's coming. This is the shit we were blessed with today. See that ripping action, boy. Putting in a solid effort. Sweep that shit up, boy. You gonna pretend to look happy or something? That's all of us. So we made it through another, I was gonna say stellar, but it's really not that great, day of roofing. Kind of a tin roof today. We ripped, it was like 140 or 150 bundles. Today was like a full rip day with 3 guys, so it's pretty good, pretty big roof. And tomorrow we're gonna be putting tin sheets on, tinning. Hopefully it doesn't rain too much. It rained a little bit today, but gonna go home. Really don't want to get another workout in, but fuck. It's probably gonna rain. I don't know. We'll have to see how we're doing on time because I gotta get some stuff done. So sometimes money has to come before staying in shape, I guess. It's more of a passion at this point, I guess. I probably stay in shape as much as I need to be at work, but we just had a Jello because they're fucking fire. We gotta have a shower and then work on some app development stuff. Working on like thinking about an NFT launchpad / access point solution. Maybe call it like MetaPass or something. I'm not sure yet, but it's gonna be good. Everything I do is good. So just put 1,400 screws in the side. Got half done. So I decided that I'm gonna start getting back on the grind. I've kind of been slacking off the YouTube lately, mainly because I've kind of adopted a like no schedule work schedule. I don't know what it's exactly called, but Alex Hormozi made a YouTube video on it, how some really successful people adopt no schedule at all instead of having a schedule just to get work done. And you know, when I'm really focused on something, I tend to do that. Like I'll set aside, not necessarily fitness, unless it's something like I'm doing roofing every day, so I really don't need to work out. Plus, if I did work out, I'd have absolutely zero time in the day, because typically I leave at 6 in the morning. I get back at 6 to 7 or 8, depending on the day, because we work 12 to 14 hour days on average. And you know, by the time I eat and have a shower, it's already 9 or 10, which leaves me another 2 hours to do stuff, or I have to get some sleep. I try to get at least 6 hours of sleep a night. So it's really tough for me to keep all that stuff in. And I really just don't like roofing. I definitely get enough of a workout. It's not a lack of physical activity by any means. We do on average 15,000 steps a day, which is half of what I hike to the mountains per day. So like you're walking around a lot, like back and forth on the roof, up and down the ladder, and it's surprising how much you actually walk, but it's definitely enough of a workout, plus lifting and ripping, all that kind of stuff. So I wish I could be working the right muscle groups and actually working out, but there's just times in life where you can't. And some people say, oh, you don't have the energy or you don't have the time. You'll always find the time, and I could, but if you got to pick your poison, right? If I chose to work out for another hour and a half, 2 hours a day, then I would lose an hour and a half to 2 hours of work time, which is really essential with what I'm doing right now. I just got to focus entirely on that. So like I said, I wasn't being lazy per se, not doing YouTube videos, but there were days where I just didn't record anything because either, I don't know, I just didn't feel like recording anything, or I didn't have anything to record, so I didn't feel like posting a really, really short YouTube video, if that makes sense. And like I said, the time it takes to edit, that's another hour each day to edit, plus recording time. So it's very time consuming. Even putting raw clips together, I still have to export it, upload it to YouTube. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do that because I have slow ass Wi-Fi right now. My dad only has, I think it's 50 or 100 gigabytes per month, and he goes through most of that each month. So there's really nothing left, and then it throttles like crazy. So he's got a shit deal from some rural internet service. But the point is that we're still on the grind. We've always been on the grind. We've just allocated our time to different things temporarily, and we are building an app. I'll share more details later, but it's going to be huge. Like, this is one of the best ideas I've ever had, I think.
Waving like this? That makes me laugh. Isn't it? 'Cause that's weird. That is so weird. I've never seen that before. Is that what you want to see?
That is weird, man. Let's see some heat.
She got me in a hypnosis.
7,000 of these motherfuckers to put in today. Oh my lordy lord. I don't even know what to say anymore. I guess I just kind of want to complete the videos I don't even know what to say anymore. I kind of want to complete the videos that I don't, like the days that I don't talk on, just for the sake of completeness. So I'll probably put them together in groups with other days if I don't, come up with anything, but I gotta get back on the video grind, even though I literally get home and I eat and shower, have literally 1 hour to do something before I sleep, and then go back to work. So I'm doing workouts before work in the morning. So I get up at 4:30. I actually finally decided to get up, which is pretty awesome. So I'm doing workouts now in the morning before work, and then try to get as much done after work as I can. So got her ripped and prepped. Some strapping up for the tin. Now we're just waiting on tin for now.
Ryan, you're left signal, I'm right.
So my camera died this morning because I was talking too much, but that's kind of a basic overview of what the app is going to be. So everything I talked about, plus like a percentage of licensing, locked content sales, percentage of Shopify sales, so people upload their store to their profile. We'll have a percentage of that through like a Shopify app. Percentage of NFT transactions, which is huge, because if you know anything about NFTs, the volume of money that flows through that industry is insane. Plus advertising platform revenue. So probably gonna wait for the rest until I actually release it, for people to know about it, because it'll make more sense then. But that's it. It's just work now, right? You just gotta put in the work and get it done. So I think that's gonna be it for today. See you tomorrow, I guess.